Oh, I'm late. It's the cat's fault. I got Twist here, doing wood. Doing the wrong wood. Oh, I wish I had a button to cancel. I gotta make it all. It doesn't even matter. Welcome to D for Play. Welcome to Pax Dei. This is Epiousios. It's a daily thing. D for Play, I cover Pax Dei. It's Deep for Play in Pax Dei. I am Bender. This is Candy Twist. You will see my main protagonist, Christ Catnap. That is also my username. It is a catnap in Christ. Now, have you tried the free 7-day trial? Of course you have. You might be an owner of Pax Dei. 150,000, 160,000 people, and growing too. Every day that I'm on Discord, I see new people. I mean, we're not talking one. We're talking 3 or 4. 3. Let's just say 3. Because that's what I saw today. And yesterday I saw 4. Today I saw 3. Maybe the day before I saw 2. Because that's me looking at a very short period of time. I do not stay on Discord. I just get on, read what people have put, give toxic answers, and go on my way. Work done. So when I see new people, I look at what they're asking. They're often asking, where do I go, for my thing? And then, I just watch, other people answer. I'm not a hog. I'd rather read than write. I read everybody's stuff, and I write very little. So, we're going to get more wood. What are we doing wood for? We're working our way up. We just went to level 9. Why did you make so much of that? Do you really need it? You make a lot of arrows. I have a lot of birds to shoot at lately, I'll tell you that. Endless amount of birds to shoot at. We, now, if you have... I went across the room, did I? Did I mix up stuff? I did, didn't I? You never know. I forget where I put stuff. Why? Because we have so dang much. I have plenty of arrows and everything else stocked in another container. You see all this stuff. If you have just started, you might be, what, we're going to have more? We're going to have more? What do you want out? What? If you have to make... Okay, wood at the chopping block is one thing. Arrows and weapons that you go through are another thing. But there's many crafting items. You might think, well, if I make a whole bunch of these, I will open up new crafting. It's earning me great experience. Take that easy. Make 1 or 2 of everything. And there's little things like glue and tanned leather and nubuck leather and other things you'll be making tons of. So there's no reason to make a lot of it at first. But you might see the opportunity. You might see, well, I'm looking at this, and let's have a look as I'm putting stuff away. Like on the simple leather working table, which you'll see a lot of. Here I've mastered out these really fast. I don't think Twist made more than 1 Pilgrim's Jerkin. Of course, leather bands I'll be making a lot of over time, crafting weaponry and other things, so I have yet to exhaust that. And when Mainframe put Pax Dei together, the Divine as I call them, put Pax Dei together, they made it so some things do not exhaust so quickly. Now you have 2 Pilgrim's Jerkins, you might see. What is that all about? That's a 120, that big in yellow up there, or gold in my view. Some people might see yellow. 220 on this one. They are different. One takes a worn out locket, and then we get those off the local level 1 guys, and there's also a cracked locket that you get off the level 2, level 3 guys, and you're like, what? This is all too much. What do I do? Where do I go? Okay, in Pax Dei, you are going somewhere. And you are somebody. Oh yeah, tell us. Who am I? I can't find anything to tell me who I am. Well, I think Pennyloafer got it best. You are an orphan. You are brought forth by the divine. You start in your clothes, running by everybody, being embarrassed. For some people, they found it embarrassing. I'm just saying. So if you feel that way, others have felt like you. Is it right to feel embarrassed? I don't know. You're running around in your underwear. That just might not be within your comfort zone. I'm not going to judge you on that. Unless unless it was funny. So, the big deal is, who are you and where do you go? It's very simple stuff. You follow your nose in Pax Dei. What? That is the worst. It gets worse. You have entered a time where Mainframe has put a better tutorial. Huzzah! You should rejoice, because before, it was very small. Get a construction hammer and start moving along there, kiddos. And we can talk about many things, and many things you've already seen. Of course, you've seen a bench. You see her turn around right there? Every time you can't see yourself, you turn around and face yourself. So if you're by a bench where you can't see yourself because you're close, and you have a physical action, like on the forge, you'll have a pair of tongs. Well, if you can't see yourself, because I have moved my forge, but before I had just the ceiling and stuff structure over it, so it would go in very close, and I see the back end of the tongs because your character's facing you, just to remove any mystery with that. You might notice it. So, yes. Who are you and what do you do? Well, the first thing you want to do is make yourself clothes, because you're naked. You have a default jerkin or a garment there. I think the jerkin's leather. Yeah, the jerkin's leather. You have your tunic, and if you pick that you will not be naked, you will always have that tunic on. It will just look terrible. What am I doing here? I have a builder who is more advanced in skill, and I'm about to wear out this axe. And they do not get any experience by making these wood items. Though these wood items are what I'm needing plenty of to build with. Where are you going with this? Easily enough, you need lots of planks. These boards under my feet are made of both planks and beams. Candy Twist here is not on the level where she can make these types. This is a flooring with sticks. That was where I started at the chopping block. That was those sticks run together, even threaded together or tied together. Those are the types of sticks she can make. You got to be up to level 20 to get these rough wood objects below us. So, while my carpenter, who is at this level, can make this, he gets no experience by making the objects he exhausts, he consumes while making this. So I have Candy Twist and others who do not have this mastered. Once it's mastered, find someone else. Try to get someone else in the clan. Try to get a friend. Do some wood beams for me. Oh, I'm sorry, man, I mastered them. Oh, I gotta find somebody. Because, it's worth them to get their experience in carpentry up. If they don't plan on building themselves. Because they're going to find it quite a wall to get up there in carpentry and do anything cool with other items you can do. We're going to see those. Now today is going to be about Lioness a little bit. Because Candy Twist, who will be going... Do I have this too low? You're too tall. I should put something below that so I can avoid it more naturally. I think I'll put the benches under there. We'll see. Why do I have it hanging so low? I'll show you. It's something they really need to help us with. A couple alternates to models would be very nice. Now, the carpentry, these are the first two benches you show up with. You got your log workbench right here, which would be the second. It was created later in Pax Dei to accommodate people without plots. And it was created just for the workstations. They removed anything that you would need a plot to put down the object. So on your basic carpenter workbench, you have all these things that you've done. They're very easy to master out. And you're like, well, how did I do it? Did I have to make a bunch of them? No. You just get to level 5 and a bunch of stuff masters. You get to level 10 and a bunch of stuff masters out. At the same time, a bunch of things that were on very easy go to a green star. It's just, as soon as she hits level 10, a bunch of this stuff, and some of it will rearrange. Some of it will change positions, and you'll notice it. It's like a storage chest. That used to be something we primarily started with. Now it's behind a rough leather strap, which will be a point here in a minute, as Candy Twist needs to do that. Wooden barrels, and other very useful things. Now you see these little scrolls right here. That means you haven't made it yet. You haven't opened the recipe. Or, if you pick it up from a chest, and someone else has already made it, that will open your recipe. Although you might not have the skill to craft it yet, it will open the recipe. Just so you have that in mind. Candy. Now, one thing Candy is up to is getting more trees down. So until it gets a little bit farther along, I make it actually a practice when I do start chopping trees, because I don't always do that. Sometimes I'm running around and I'm not doing anything when it comes to trees. Every yard has a tree. These are trees that are on the plots Candy Twist is associated with by clan, not ones she has herself. She doesn't have any. She has one grace plot. I use tokens from one character to cover these. Right now I'm going through the tokens I got with the full release. We all got tokens from our previous full release, early access purchase. If you bought at a founder level, they gave you 4 plot tokens, and then I think another one, yes, a 5th one, or an extra one for anybody, because of certain things they thought didn't go smoothly with the full release. I believe they gave out 1 more token, so everybody ended up with 5. And I'm just going through them because they do expire next October, October 14th or 16th, depending on when you were first awarded them. Founders, which just means a person who is a founder in Pax Dei isn't anything special. A founder is somebody who invested in 4 plots with the original base game purchase previous to verse 1 and all the way up to full release. You could buy a founder's package, whether it was on sale. I mean, I paid more for it because I bought it originally, and it was hey, I'm gonna invest, I'm gonna help support Pax Dei, and I bought several accounts. When it got cheaper, I bought a couple more, and I think when it went on sale, I bought 4 after the full price drop. I think I did. Well, I might have had 3 or 4. I'd have to go back. But anyway, I think I got 4 at first, and then I got 3 more later. This is what you'll be doing when you start Pax Dei. When you open, you're going to see the tutorial, and you're going to see the construction hammer, and you've already seen this. But the first thing you need when you whip out the hammer, and you're like, all right, what does this mean? Someone told me to right click. I got building objects. I go here. It tells me I could build this. Well, you need sapwood. And you're either going to pick it up off the ground. Now, when we first started, you had to find sapwood. You had to find sapwood just to make your first construction tool. You know, your first axe, your stone axe, which is just a rock and a stick. I think it was more at first. So you actually had to run around for a little bit, and it could be pretty frustrating. Now I cut the smaller ones too. Why? You're like, yeah, you can cut the big ones down now. You know, you might be still stuck on some of the smaller ones. You might not have gotten to bronze yet as far as your axe. See, the oaks here, I take wrought iron. My iron won't even do these. You need wrought iron to do them. And you need heartwood. And you get heartwood when you are just about to reach, you know, I think 14, 16. So that's what I do. I say, I'm going to chop wood. And Twist was at level 11, or just starting level 12. And so I try to do what I do and get them up through levels. It's a good discipline. It gets me plenty of wood. I don't end up running out, and I don't have to make more and make more as if I don't have enough. Instead, I get to chop more to make sure I have enough, because I already do. Now, the whole point is getting my wood choppers up to the heartwood level. And getting heartwood, even from this tree, the thicker ones, and there's one that's half this thickness that you get heartwood from, until you get iron. And then once you get iron, you can still cut these trees down. Birches might be a little bit tougher in your area. I'm not in an area with birches. These being beeches. And we have birches. Oh, I got stamina issues. I could have just eaten food, but you know, I've been mucking around a bit. What you're working toward is what you would call Tier 2 armor. You, of course, start by being able to make Tier 1 bronze armor. It's the first thing you make on the armorer's workbench. That, you know, pilgrim's breastplate, a pair of pants, a pair of shoes, then helmet and gloves, and then gauntlets, or gauntlets and gloves. And you find yourself creeping up on the list there and opening up many more things and going, wow, what does all this mean? Well, you're basically heading toward Tier 2. You're going to see a set of armor after two or three different types of gear go by that are all the same power. And then you'll get up to a Tier 2. That Tier 2 is where you want to be. The issue is, you need to put on that bronze armor and get yourself up to level 10. Well, how do you do that? If you go around and beat up on pigs, it's going to take a long time. Most likely, in order to maneuver your way through the life in Pax Dei, you've already donned your linen gear and even your leather gear, because it's very simple to make, as is the armor. The armor, the only thing you're lacking is collecting enough bronze. And so during that time, while you're building up bronze and a bit of skill, you'll be wearing out your linen gear. Heck, some people go from default tunic to armor because you can start at level 0. And you see them wearing armor everywhere for every purpose, which I don't. Under you'll see what you're wearing. Very nice, very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You can see going up in bows, I'm going to hopefully reach level 10 rather soon and not get crushed by a tree. You can get stuck in the tree if you let them fall on you, or they might jack themselves up into the air, which it would have done if it fell toward these smaller trees. So what I typically try to do, which I don't know, I've gone through a few things now. You have your heavy armor stats here. You can see I'm creeping up. The hands were slow. They were the last one on the list I could make. And so my armor went up in skill while I was out gathering more materials to get back to the gloves and many other things that I was doing. So you got your hobarts there finally. But you can see light armor, I got up to level 10. You got to go beat up on goats. It's best to do that up against goats. And medium armor, I'm now bringing up to par. And we'll be doing that as in this. So shields up past 10. Swords is a big deal. That's your real big deal. I'm just working on, excuse me, the pole arms. Not spears, which is way up top. It's kind of strange how they did that. But spears is an early thing. Pole arms are a later thing. And they are completely different. So hand spears, level 11. You start with a pointy stick, and you move up. So, you have staves, which were kind of funky for a little while, so I just haven't started in the full release on those with Twist. But she will be involved. Everybody will be. They're a very nice thing, and it's good to just be able to be a healer on the fly, especially to heal yourself. Even with a timeout, you can still heal yourself when you're in trouble. So anyway, you work yourself up to level 10 in swords. Keep that shield on you. Get up higher levels in it. Level 10. The more you can block, the better. As you can see, Twist has made her own first set of armor. It got her all the way up to level 4, just making her own first set of armor. And then you'll see, I'll go over to the armor bench. So there's an unarmed skill now, which wasn't the case before, but now if you got to go to punch out a boar, you get credit for it. Moving up in blacksmithing and other things, trying to get everything up. Skinning, you're just going to go up in levels on that whether you want to or not. As long as you skin things, you'll go up. But wood cutting 12. Trying to move everything up to 10. You can see a few things are lagging behind because you just don't need that much. I'm working on the bronze broadsword. Building chopping axes and stuff like that I'm already doing, but everybody will be able to do it, as anybody with their regular character should be able to do the basic things. And even if you depend on a blacksmith or someone else who's ahead of you on tools and weapons making, then you can you buy from them. How do you buy? That's what's coming up. But you work your way up here. Once you're to level 10, you can use iron. You really need wrought iron to be in Lioness, but iron can get you through the dungeons better than bronze. And it just means you need to be healed less when you can wear tier 2 armor, which we'll go check out. How much wood do you have on you, kiddo? Get a little bit more. We got to do it. We got to get to level 13, or you'll never get anywhere. Let's chop this one down before I go in. You'll never get anywhere unless you strive for a little bit of daily discipline. You won't have any fun if you just come back from having fun and you have this wall in front of you. Well, what kind of game is this? It's not a game. A game is another type of MMO. This is a simulator. Pax Dei is a low fantasy simulator. That means real life is around you with a bit of that lore and other such things. It's not all interwoven into the fantasy world around you. And we covered this last time. A person on Discord put up a really good comparison, which I, of course, was envious because I had brought up the subject that people want high fantasy when that's not what this is. It isn't. This is a social simulator. That means we talk to each other. A lot of people who even play Pax Dei want social NPCs. Social's risky. NPCs are predictable. Non-player characters, of course. So, making one set of armor, the Pilgrim's Breastplate, a bronze heater, which you can see below, the Pilgrim's Leggards, the Sabatons, the slippers, Pilgrim's Helmet. Now, the attuned bronze heater, I don't know if I had her make one of those. But then you'll see there's another Pilgrim's Breastplate, 218, 118. The power goes up. It needs a worn-out locket. That worn-out locket you get from the baddies in the level 1 area. You gotta nail a few of them, and you get a few of those. And we do have them, and I need to get more. But there's the difference. It goes up in power. 200 base power, 17 skill power. Let's go right down to a 97 physical defense and the 225 max health. Reduced greatly, but the physical defense by 7. 200 base power reduction. And you see the tail of the tape. So, Vambrances vambraces. I don't know the word, so it's hard to imagine it unless I'm staring at it. I could say vambrances. There's no N. Vambraces. Frickin' gauntlets. Anyway, I thought. But people have made a chest of these things trying to see the next level. Because they don't want to make 2 things of armor or whatever else. I don't know. I've never had to do that. And I will never demonstrate how to do that because I've never had to. So, after just 1 set of armor, which she has and will be wearing later when I go and earn rent, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Not necessarily Twist earning rent. Oh, these are things she's unlocked just by moving them. These were unlocked by actually earning the reward, because I've never made these things. Here, this is the mule, or excuse me, the goat from our Yule. Mule from our Yule. It's the goat from our Yule day. Not so hot on the goat, but there's a nice lantern and other things you can make during that season when you collect the goods. Right, different recipes unlocked for doing blacksmithing. Different recipes unlocked for doing carpentry. But I believe I just picked these up. I didn't do carpentry with her. I did blacksmithing. Anyway, no, the wheelbarrow doesn't work. It's just decorative. And these are the beams from the heartwood. Yay. Now, getting up in like basic weaponsmith stuff, well, okay. If you're like, all right, I'm a solo player. Here's my bronze greatsword. Man, that Bender guy, he said, I have to get to level 10 in this. Yes, you do. Not the greatsword, broadsword. Anyway, the greatsword is a different class. It blocks. You don't need a shield. You can block and attack. It's an offensive and defensive weapon, and it has some cool little things. It's only basic stuff. You can make it right after you make, or right before you make, the bronze broadsword, which is just as easy, except for the extra component there of the bar. Your bronze chopping axe is the most desirable thing you will have at the time. You will go through at least 3 stone axes. They have a repair. You can see the blue line, lifetime. It goes down to the halfway point or something about there, and then down lower you can repair it. So you'll go through 3 of those before you get to your bronze chopping axe. If you're not at a bronze chopping axe, or if you're not cooking the materials and thinking of being a blacksmith at that level, by the time you're getting through you're reaching level 10 wood chopping, your stone axes at 3 and going beyond, or you might go beyond 10 wood chopping. That is, if you've used them to beat up a pig, that's another thing. So you have you go through 3 of those. And then you'll be by the time you get to the bronze chopping axe. That's kind of the measure of whether you're just having too much fun or not. Bronze pickaxe is kind of a risky play. Most likely, if you're making the bronze chopping axe, this will be on hard or moderate, as you see here. And that's the different levels. You all know this. I don't like to do things on hard. I used to have to, the way the crafting was before. That way I didn't have to make a case of something. I would just fail and lose materials. It was better than having a case full of things that people said they were throwing on the ground. Well, what do you mean? You lost a case full of materials? No. I don't even think if I added up all the materials I ever lost using that method, it added up to a case. Of anything. Altogether. Not just one or anything else. Altogether, things lost, materials, sapwood. For some reason, while making an axe, you can suddenly lose an axe head, which is ridiculous. And just in case you haven't heard, they actually gave all those components different values now. So you're less likely to lose higher value stuff. You will always lose the lower value until it equals a certain thing. So anyway, that aside, Lioness is in the middle of the map. And I'm not going to show it off exactly. You could look it up. I could look it up too. You cannot see it from here. It's there. There's a little PvP sword going on right there. And that is the Gwydion stone. Crazy. Get there for 0. So let's go. totally unprepared, yes, and it will cost me to come back too. Now, when you go to Lioness, you don't want to be in Tier 1 gear, unless you know it's empty. Now, the critters there are level 3 and level 4, which might not make much sense, but they'll kick your butt. Especially if you get tag teamed by a couple. There's Twist in her underwear. It's best to be naked while walking into Lioness. Do you like that? That's fun. So here we are. Now, you see that little glowing ball out there? That's a 90 level will-o-wisp. You don't want to mess with that. I want to come out here and get a bunch of metal, which is why I've decided this is worth it. I did bring the right tools, didn't I? That'd be a bummer. What you will find usually around these openings are veil stalkers. I am very badly dressed for taking on veil stalkers. See that red over there too? I need that also. So we'll be banging away on this for a little bit. I have a little bit of a pickaxe left, right? But there are spooks. There are creepy things. That number 90 will-o-wisp is bad enough, but there are soul brothers. I do not see any veil stalkers. It looks like they moved them away from this entrance. Let's go see Lioness. Now, the big deal to bring up Lioness is you might have heard that Pax Dei is free to play. Well, there's a whole bunch of people on Steam that'll tell you it's not. They're lying to you. Pax Dei has been free to play since they started charging for it. What? Yes. If you only want one plot, you can earn it by logging in. Well, not really. You get 10 grace a day. There's only 30 days, or 31, or less in a month, and you might not be there every time. Still in your underwear, Twist. Lioness and PvP. You have entered Lioness. Tread carefully. If you venture deeper into the area, you will be flagged for PvP and can be killed by other players. When you die in PvP, some items will be destroyed, and the remainder left in your corpse, lootable by anyone. You will also take damage to your gear. Did you see how this swapped down here? You're on a timer. So just running across the safety line in what you will learn to call a safe zone doesn't mean the timer is expired. Mournwood. Now, if you do meet people right now on Lioness, they're most likely seeking Mournwood to maintain their shrines, and we'll talk about that. The Mournell's trunk twists with shapes almost human, and the ground beneath it seems darker, as if it drinks shadow instead of rain. Lovely. How you doing, Willie? You over in Celine? Appearing only in evenings and only in Lioness, this haunting tree is the only source of Mournwood. You need to chop it to keep the bonfire going. People are upgrading their bonfires. They're using gold. If you check out Kim B, her streaming stuff, you know, once in a while she goes to the shrine and reveals how many tiers they're at and how much gold they can expect to spend. Have you been to Lioness yet, Billy? Billy is, you'll see him and Celine, because I don't know if the chat's showing on the screen right now, because it's not for me. Though, he's over in Celine, and I catch him over there as much as I can, and you've been in since first one, I think, Billy. I think. I believe near everybody that I've spoken to has. It's just the way it is. Now, when you're not going to be chopping at trees if you're on the trial. But hey, you know, if they invite you out to go chopping on trees, it's probably pretty safe since you cannot wear the gear. These ancient sites are found in Lioness. This is one of your shrine sites. Here's the bonfire in the middle. People build incredible things around it. I think they're about as big as a plot. I think they are. But you can put, as they go up in tiers, you can claim more land around it. So it's pretty cool. Should you gather enough, you can claim the site and its surrounding land for your claim. And it can be challenged, because you can be challenged at the Mournwood tree itself, and people can make it difficult for you to sustain your shrine. The fire wants to be fed, so take heed, for you will need to work to keep the site should you capture it. You gotta get more. Confirm. Now, Brazilian. Brazilian's a rather wonderful place, you can tell, very touristy. I mean, it looks like a battle took place at the gate. I'm not sure if that really makes sense. But yes, the stuff's stuck in the ground. I don't know why people stick swords in the ground. I mean, not through any heads or anything. Be rather dangerous. You can cut the tip of your boot. Now you will see these circles in several places. These stones, the border stones, and out there is Lioness. Now, I know there's some harvesters around, but you're fine here. There is a deer. Deers are great because they do not highlight, but there will be something else. Right over there, you see some needful things. At night they grow orange. Actually, that might be the carbon stuff, not the ambergris. Carbonite and ambergris. Is it carbonite or is that just Han Solo? Anyway, you can see now I'm in a PvP zone. Let's look at the map. Let's look at the map. A little bit slow today. Ooh, look who's all here. Now we used to have a few other people out here, and it looks like some have changed. Here are the trees. This tree has a condition, and I can't remember, is that how much wood is left or how much time? Because it would seem to be time the way they're going. They have names. You get to know the names. Agravain, Malegant. There's the Catalan, the Fallen Order. Sworn over here. Very loud map. Sun Shield. Emerald Rabbit. Because they have names too. The Sancte Lucius. Golden Cavaliers. If you see gold in front of it, you don't have to wonder too long. And Cuervos Blancos. Is that the white drinks? I don't know. White beers? No, that's something else. That's cerveza. Cuervos. Dos Cuervos. X. S, the white X. So anyway, I was getting my Sesame Street together there. So you have Ozana over here. And maybe these are times until they are... I forgot. It's been so long since I looked at it. I've had nothing to do with it. But this is Lioness. This is nearly the size of the map we come from. Just a little bit smaller. It's a whole big area. You can open up fast travel here at these sites. Brazilian would be the one in front of us, and we could almost run there, but I'm not. And then we have Carrick, Avalon, yes, King Arthur Fables, and Corbin. So these are nice places we can have nothing to do with. You can walk through them. They're ruins. Someday they might be something, but we really need a population. I'm just going to say that right now. Or everybody's just going to go to Lioness, and the rest of the world will be empty. So you won't see that. Let's go back. So there's Lioness. What is the point of it? Coming here and getting those two things you talked about? Well, yes. These things you need to get by a couple craftings. You gotta watch it. I'm not sure how things are developing out here. You gotta watch it. Nothing's too close to the road until it is. Until it is. Let's go get this. The deer bite. Watch it. No, they don't. They don't bite. Canaanite. Carbonite's Han Solo. So, you have found an item related to enchanting. Enchanting allows you to boost the item power of your gear. Process ambergris and Canaanite in the alchemy and jewel crafting crafters to manufacture items that can be applied to gear for the boost. So right, these are the two items you'll become familiar with, and a bit of that. Now you need more than you can just grab in a quick moment. And how much is around here? And what else is around here? Well, I'll tell you. We're about to learn something. No, it's easier at night. Oh, there's more. It's easier at night to find it. It's also easier during the daytime to find your death. No, that's not it. Is this the... Yes. The Anatolian ivy. You have to come here to get some of the ivies. Oh, well, they're in other places too, I think. As I pointed out on the other side, I'd have to grab some of that red stuff. I'm very woefully underarmed for being in Lioness. Anything I meet. Hellebore you can also find in the scrublands. Tin. Okay, so until they opened the shrines, Lioness was around for a while. Mandrake. No, I'm not grabbing any. No, you're not going to see me being too... Oh, I've gone... Okay. I basically run naked through Lioness. I mean, that's not the issue. Everything's fine until you meet somebody. I know there's a big doggy around here somewhere. There is. There they are. I can hear you. There's an old boar, number 3, huffing around there. You can hear the bear. There's always an asthmatic bear around, huffing away. They're usually slightly hidden around piles and trees. I'm not that curious today. Not being in any armor of any sort, I'm definitely going to find all the wrong people. But I do want to see about locating... There should be some ambergrass. Okay, so I'm going to find a bear. And we're going to find out something about bears really quick. I should have eaten lunch. Hey, here we go. So this is what we're going to learn as we come around and see. Here he is. Hi, bear. That's a number 4 brown bear. He's going to aggro again because I'm just standing there like a tosser. Come on, kid. Oh, come on. Well, okay, the point is, him hopping around, it means he's still aggravated, but they will get away, so I'm a little bit farther now. The harvesters are around here somewhere. I think there's a couple in the bushes, waiting in the bushes of love. They are not lovers. These guys, these hawthorn saplings, become your greatest source. They're in the scrublands and everywhere too. You can find a lot more out here. Residual harvesters, where are you? Sometimes they drop out of the darn sky. I'm going to admit it. They do. Yes, I could back away from myself. I never do, though. It's spookier this way. Willie, did you catch me? I caught your high. So, I'm not sure. I think they might have thinned them out a little. I mean, really, these guys hung out in silly places. The last time I was here, I was noticing they were more by the roads. Those silver lines on the ground, you are crossing over something when it comes to your terrain. Sometimes when you go to, you're like, oh, look at that metal over there. Not like you're running for tin. There's some boars down there. Now, if you're in armor, you can really just come into this place and say, hey there, hi there, ho there. You know, quite seriously. I see some more Canaanite up here. I just got it, you know, walking around in Lioness in leather armor. What, is that not Canaanite? Does that look like a... Oh, it's a fox. I'm like, what is he supposed to be? A furry slug? Okay. Well, I'm not seeing, yeah, Brazilian was never an easy gate. But there used to be a few more things out here because I would explore quite a lot of it. And I think, oh, you're getting farther away from the entrance. Well, the safety zone is this barrier all around we see. So you can get around it and look around. I am going to be looking for those harvesters, though. You see, as soon as you run in there, you can say neener, neater, but I'm going to teach you something about that you might not realize. It's not a sudden happening. No, it's not. Maybe they're down here. I've been in this gate several times. Yeah, it looks safe. That looks inviting. Okay, so you have back entrances and stuff like that to things. They keep you out of range of the main road. Just remember that. Once you're out of view, see, when you're in the map, you can't see if anybody else is here unless they're in range of you. You go down these back areas, they file along out to different areas, right? Where the road takes you here and this takes you out here. You'll find it's kind of a different way of travel when you come down here. And I've taken this way all the way out to this lovely area. I'm sure actually the Golden Cavaliers probably take the sideline to get out there much quicker than you would via the other way, because you can bypass a lot of terrain. Alright, let's stop being so callous. Yeah, good, a little bit of nightfall. Maybe I'll see some ambergrass. You can see number 4 bears. There isn't just one. There isn't just one bear. They pop up a lot. You're used to leaving your home valley. You know, there might be a big bear there to make sure you know that you've entered the wildlands. That ain't the first bear you're going to see there. That's the first of many. In fact, it could become a little bit tiring in Lioness if you are too lightly armored to take on the local baddies, because you'll be running a lot. And it might get tiring. It might get tiring to you, like, wow, I haven't really enjoyed myself. So expect it. Bring food that will give you stamina. Have tier 2 equipment. I mean, I can run all the way through here in underwear. I can. And I won't die. You just keep running. You just keep running. That's the whole game. Man, they did get rid of the harvesters. Now I'm going to run into one. See the path down the other side's got a dip, and that runs along. I was seeing if they have any birds out here. You might have noticed the geese and the pheasant in your area. Once you get out to the wildlands, you get ptarmigan, vultures, I believe, and well, I've seen the ptarmigan, do they call them ptarmigan or they call them something else? But I've also seen the eagles. Now out here you get 300. If you drop one of those eagles, you get 300 experience and stuff. So coming out to Lioness, there's a lot of higher experience. You don't get more for harvesting trees or anything. In fact, it's useless to come out here to harvest things if you're not living out here. Yeah, I'm mucking around a lot. I'm not even eating my lunch, which really means I'm being callous. Well, I want to find some ambergrass. I'm gonna die. Yeah, it looks like they have cleaned things up a bit from the gate. It's not so easy just to stick your nose in. Used to be a lot easier, which was good if you just needed it for crafting. Now you don't. Now, as you see, it goes yellow here. Once you exit, players cannot kill you anymore. Right? But you see that timer? Yeah, they can. They can. Do you see I'm running to the gate? Now, if you had a person chasing you, right, gonna steal your stuff, how much longer do you have until they can slay you? now. So remember that. Hey, Astaroth. Oops. He just fast traveled. Now, sometimes you can walk through these and hit a wall. Usually doesn't happen. But you will hit a wall. Just run back and forth. It'll reset. Historically. Blueberry. And I'm in my underwear. Now, folks are running out here. And I gotta get some metal. Oh, did they harvest it already, or did it blink up? No, it's blinking up. A lot of people come out here to harvest the metal, right? 100 grace for all harvest skills at 40 doesn't seem that great for the amount of effort. They give you 1,000 for some things. Now you can see, I wanted to come out here and harvest stuff. Well, darn it. Where did it all go? Well, they came out here and harvested. Blueberry might have come out here and grabbed it all. Oh, do you see the baddies? Whispering Souls. You'll be able to take those. You'll be able to take those. Not in the gear I am now. See, you can hear someone harvesting. Make a trip out here. Well, I took you on a tour of Lioness just for a little bit instead of taking advantage of the harvesting, right? So what do? Are you stuck out here? No, I got grace. 'Cause you gotta have grace, baby. There you go. 0 to travel home. 0 to the gate. 0 to travel home. Hosanna's out there mining. A few people were out there. Just come next time. If you're like, oh darn, I really planned on doing it. Well, you can walk out to the Wildlands, which is cool. You can walk out and do that. Now, with some people, they're paying 360 gold every 24 hours on the grace wheel for 60 grace. The only reason they see this as the best way is because they can get 30 to 80 gold from each residual harvester. Now, I think the refresh on the residual harvester might be 30 minutes. I can't remember. It has changed. Or, well, I thought it changed. Well, shoot. It looks like... Yeah, darn it. Harm's Way, Osgold... Well, he might be letting it wrap up into his queue, huh? It looks like he packed up a bunch of stuff, took down a bunch of things, and then wrapped up a bunch of stuff into his queue. So maybe he moved or something like that. I haven't heard from him. I haven't had time to move up, and he wanted to find a group that could, go out and combat and do things. I'm not in the position. Ah, look at that. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. It's always weird with the stairs, man. We have to have these half-buried buildings. Oh, well. That's what we deal with in Pax Dei. Everybody deals with the same thing. There. Now, of course, when it comes down to a target-rich environment of meeting people and being able to do things, getting into Selene, Tolosa is very popular. There's other ones too. I don't even want to not speak of them. I just happen to be in Tolosa. But Armanhak, Lavda, then there's the other side. Anyway, people have built up. I do not know the European servers and the Asian server. I don't know their numbers. But I do know that Athena said that if you jump on the Asian server and start an account there, I mean, you just have the base game. You could be on all 5 servers if you have that kind of free time. But 79. But I was 9 years old. But walls. No spite walls. No spite walls. I think I saw some spite walls the other day. I was like, wow, I haven't seen any spite walls. But anyway, that aside. I don't believe the Asian server, they're getting a 1,500 grace for kicking off there, and maybe some other bonuses, because they have a major population issue. And there were quite a few Japanese creators that I knew that were into Pax Dei, and they did a lot of cool stuff. If you want some really good building ideas, look up those guys on YouTube. They're very few, 1 or 2, and it's pretty obvious because they have, their script all over the thumbnails. Kanji. I can't remember which one it is. Kanji might be the formal one. Anyway, and I believe it's formal. Yeah, could have come back with a lot of metal, but I just went there and went back. Really no skin off my teeth. I will be running Twist around the yard tonight, since I want to work up her skills. I want to get her a little bit up there in blacksmithing and carpentry. Plus I have a lot of, the chores that I do with my folks to just raise them all up, so all boats float up rather evenly. Getting that heartwood, having everybody chopping down trees and producing heartwood will be great. We have another builder here. We had a builder here before. I don't know if they just started over, but the previous, I could be curious. I'll be curious later. The previous person hadn't gotten past the construction tiers. They had the big deal up the side. My mouse buttons. They had the big deal up the side, and I think they tore it down. Look at that lit up thing. Man, we have some lighting ability out here. It's kind of back. They've improved it. It was dim for a bit. It was no dang fun. But Twist has a grace plot, which I will be putting a market at. Now, you can have a market in a place, but it's immediately online. You just have to have the market bench in order to show up online. We have an Amazon. It's the Paxion. The Pax is on. The Pax is on. So, if you want to buy a bridge, hold it. Are they holding the spot? No. And that's Golden Company. Probably a little bit of grace plot there. I'm sure there's spots where the Golden Company, Altari, and all the folks who build. See, there's Isolate. Isolate is over by me, on the edge there. Right, the water with all the R's over there, that's Isolate's place. But Isolate has a few places. We have some rather large investors in Pax Dei. I mean, big. I mean, big investment. And you don't hear them complain. I don't know what they think. Pretty cool. I mean, shoot. I don't know. You can see how little I can get done with 16 plots. Just because I want them on different servers. And then I add a grace plot, right? And then you're just asking for it, aren't you? Oh, look, it won't develop. It won't develop. Huh? Oh, look. Oh, ho. This is like being on water. It is. That's like being on water. So what's up with that? Ooh, wait, see? Interesting. I'm going to get trapped in the wall. I'm not going to do that. Glitch mob. So, this is my place, you might notice. Plot twist. But it's not adding up as my place, isn't it? Well, there's my grace plot. Plot rights. Clan all. So there we go. I have my hammer. Remember the water? Remember when we used to log in above... I don't know. Billy, do you remember that? When we used to log in above water and you sit there because your building wouldn't show up yet? So we've had a little bit of slowness. Let me get back to the property and see if it messed up my permissions. Okay, that's fun. Sorry, Twist. It really was at your expense, I know. Cutest place in Pax Dei right here. I know, it's probably not an oak berry. I actually find oak berry stuff. He's got a style. Definitely the cozy. Birds. Mush, mush, mush. Should punch them. Hey, there's that unarmed combat skill. No good with the arrows? You can take 2 on the ground. Oh, and with the spear, if you see him jump in the air, Billy, just in case you haven't tried this, as long as you're shoveling with that spear, if they're in the area, you seem to nail them. As if you actually aim the spear. It's fantastic. So that's the takeaway this evening. Look, I got nothing. Yay. What do? Well, the thing is, I fast traveled away and came back. Now, that free fast travel, it costs money now. You can go back and forth there, but it costs grace now. So I'm not going to be doing that. Other gates, just in case you haven't seen. Oh, come on, you can do it. Oh, they're not going to show it to me. I haven't been there with Twist yet. I forgot that it doesn't show you, even if you're not there. But there's like Pilgrims and other ones. This one, the Gwydion. You just look for the cross swords. That's Lioness, PvP. Now, I have a ring of iron to get to, a couple baddies to wall up on. Once I get a pattern down for what I can accomplish with Twist, I might take you on a chore run of hers. Because, well, I'll tell you, one thing, if you don't wander around, you can see all these marks in this map, and you're like, no, we can't. Twist has to make a few marks. I just did it with Morty last night. But, you know, from where I am, right here, my little home base right there, there's the little plot twist. Straight back here is like, you know, iron ore resources. 3 nodes. Then there's 3 nodes over here. Then there's 3 nodes over here. But when I go up and around here, I get 20 or something nodes. So there's a bit over here too. So I can make a big, well, I can come down here and make a big circle and come back down. By the time I get back down, they're starting to refresh. It's very nice. So I have no losses. I had forgotten they'd stacked up that much iron at Lioness. There used to be 3 different Veil Stalkers right there, plus all the Soul Brothers down the way waiting for you. I mean, I think less of those before, but there was certainly a lot less iron. So of course, when I looked at that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to harvest. Because last time I was there, I don't remember that much iron being there, and it wasn't harvested. There was actually beasties there instead of iron. It used to be a tougher entrance. Now they made it friendlier. Because, well, there's no reason to be there. Yeah, as you can see, Twist gets around. There's a lot of marks for special things. No, I don't mark the cotton out of here. I mark everything else that's around the carton. Heavy combat areas, wherever you find a bear, is important. This is the bear across the bridge. I made the joke last night. Someone was like, how do you get to Lydal? I was like, take a right at the bear, which is what you do. Oh no, that was Dolavan. Oh well. You can still get to Lydal that way. It's just, never mind. I screwed that up. I can admit it. So, Lioness, 400 grace. Let's just, one last thing. A lot of people buy grace at 60 for 360 gold. These are the people who are going to Lioness, nailing residual harvesters and things like that, also doing well in the market. That's the rate they buy it at. You know, I'm a cheaper. I have to do things cheap. I don't get 10. I get 20 for 50. Now, these folks, you don't need 60 grace every day. I mean, you only need 60 grace. Well, you can get 610 times, but for 40, that's, 5, 6, 7. So you get 42, right? You're going to get, so, or 40, 420. So, 420, baby. But, it's, okay, so that's 7 times. I have to do it a lot more, getting 20 up here. So maybe it's the certainty and stuff like that. Whatever it is, you're spending a lot more gold. But if you're getting a lot more gold, I mean, someone's saying, hey, I'm buying battle axes, for 1,450 a chest. Wow, that's cheap battle axes. Well, they're single stack, right? They're all single stacks. You only have 4x4. Don't know my own inventory. 4x4, right? When you buy a chest, right? The chests now are 4x4. So, 4x8, which is going to be 16, 24, 32. 32 of them for 1450, he said. And that's the battle axes. People find them cheap and very effective, plus they block while they're doing it. So there's lots of ways to do it. If you're getting in this on the 7-day thing, get up to that level 10 sword, get up to that level 10 armor, get yourself better armor, tier 2 armor, go out and whack some residual harvesters. Be careful though, get to know them. There's binding spells that you can poke them while they're bound, and then you can get away and bind them again based on the cooldown. Or work with friends. Work with friends. Don't go to the level 2 camps. I mean, I've gone to them solo, but you'll die. You'll die. Unless you can really pick them apart and never get doubled up on, or not get an archer and a pinhead and a master blaster on you. Yeah, it gets pretty dark pretty quick. And the level 3s, forget about it. You're going to want to, you get the scratch or the lockets, not the worn, but they have the scratched or whatever they're called. You need level 2 and level 3 people to do that. Plus, to get the fractured crystals, you need to be able to get out and get the Soul Brothers at the level 1, level 2 out in our local Pale. And the level 2 ones at the gate there will also drop different crystals. To get the color stones, you need to go out and get the wolves. The Veil Stalker will drop like 3 different types that I've seen. But there's many different dogs after that. They used to have a lot of names for the dogs. I don't know if they changed them all, because they had Veil Stalker and Dire Wolf, but they also had Barkers and other things. I forgot the names now. It's been a while, but it seems to me they had a lot of names. Anyway, you can do it in 7 days. You can do as I would recommend, which is get up to level 10 in those things. Just your sword and your bronze armor, you can get up to level 10 in that in 7 days. I really wouldn't. I mean, yeah, you could. You're not going to do much else. You'll have to do a bit of crafting just to do those things, though, and you'll build up those skills. Hannon Flows over there with his brewery. He's the one with the vines in the front, not this one by the shore. Yeah, I don't think that's Flo's place. The multi-story up there. People have shaken around. No one's really moved here lately, which is a surprise. Pax Dei is always moving, and then you see them somewhere else. They don't leave. You see them somewhere else. But I've got to do a lot of building. Got to work on this structure as I discover the space and I'm working it out. Going to do a couple different things with it. Low fantasy. Right. So, they promoted a low fantasy game that was a social simulator sandbox simulator, if you'd like. So people said, no, we want high fantasy. And we want to be social with NPCs, not people. Most players are very used to parallel play, just saying, oh, you've got that, well, I've got this. They really don't talk to each other, or they have very universal goals. Yeah, we're going to go get the boss, and all they talk about is how they got the boss. So it's very safe. People are used to that safety. In Pax Dei, you don't walk around with a title and a label. You are who you are. And therein lies the safety of Pax Dei. You don't have to live up to anything else. You get to be yourself. You're not running around as anonymous player number, 500,000, who's just going to the same instance, who's just going to the same boss event, who's just getting the same blueprint, the same skill, the same whatever. Pax Dei, what, it's all different? No. You are you doing everything everybody else can do. Do you notice you're on a planet, we can all just basically do the same things? It doesn't really get nuts. And so you kind of make your life out of the choice. Pax Dei, while it's not as big as the world, praise the Lord, it's getting bigger. Do I agree with everything Mainframe does? Who cares? They can make a game. I can't. I just play it. And I promote it. Do I have complaints? Of course. You know, do I complain much? A little. But not much. When it comes right down to it. Mostly I just don't like hypocrisy. Do you like how our sun? I've been waiting for this. Just in case everybody has wondered about the flashing, this is why we're sitting right here, right now. This is why I said forget it, let's get back. Because this is the thing I've been noticing. Now, beautiful as it is, you can see that there's something wrong with it, can't you? Something wrong with my glowing forest. Here, let me get before it disappears. That will be a great thumbnail. Yeah, just capture it. I gotta make sure I got the right thing here. This is really nice. Sometimes the glitches are the best thing about Pax Dei. I swear. I mean, really. The melting skies in the morning. These are coming through the mountains. There's a layer under the mountain structures that's allowing the sun to come through. If you see this, you can F9. I let it go. But do you see how it faded away? I've been waiting for that. Because it's been playing around. Well, there you go. Now we're going to F9 it. Oh, I have that. Never mind. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Do 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 do. The sunrise is hitting below the belt. Hitting a bit. I know. I love the English language. Did you know your brain does not speak English? Do you know your brain doesn't speak German, Spanish, Hindi, Swahili? Your brain speaks brain, and everybody's brains speak the same thing. We can talk about that next time. Sunrise hitting a bit low, my divine main frame. Now they are on vacation just until the first week of August, and praise the Lord they took a vacation. Now I know I always give the crap. Americans love to say Europeans take 3 months off to smoke cigarettes, because a lot of them do. A lot of them do. A lot of them do. Mainframe hasn't done that. They haven't done that. They're taking time off, till August 12th or whatever. Their kids start school. My kids do too. And so that's a busy time. So getting a break, spending time with family. Yeah, they just did the full release. No, I don't think they went far enough. But who cares what I think? That's just what I think. They're the ones making Pax Dei. They're the ones putting all the risk on the line. They're the ones who see the bills come into the office. None of us do. We just like to speculate because it makes us feel important. All right. Keep your sticks on the ice, right? I rarely put the heart eyes. I mean, I even have qualms putting the heart thing to you guys on comments, but it's brotherly love. It is. Beautiful sunrise there. Isolette's place across from Isolette's place. Now you know, huh? Maybe they wanted a bridge across there. There's some places you can still do bridges. You gotta take advantage of it. Alright, Twist. We don't have the most lovely centering of things. We don't have the most lovely camera angles. Sorry, Twist. Alright. Keep your sticks on the ice. May the Lord bless you. Billy, glad to see you. If you couldn't hang out for as long as... I don't like the tiny light flashes of green, red, and purple. Hey, Billy. Yeah, before... You know, that flashing. That's why I'm glad you're still here and you caught that. Because while doing the logging over the past few days, I've been getting this poof, you know? And it's like... And I thought, well, at first I knew it was sunlight. It was the proper color, right? It's the proper color. There's another one right in the background. So they got a layering issue. Are they going to be able to escape server restarts? I don't think so. Maybe in the year 2040. Maybe. Maybe when networking is free and so fast. You remember those little SSD cards we used to use from Kingston and everything else? You know why they're useless? People used to be able to stick them in their phones, right? And now they took them out of phones. And people are like, well, this is a horror. Well, this is terrible. They've taken our private ability to expand our memory. Now we have to pay for more. Yes, they did do that. The thing is, the memory they have now is thousands of times faster. It's thousands of times faster than those old little mini cards, which I used to have in my cameras. I have extreme ones, high performance ones, so you can just do raw footage capture in video. You can video capture raw footage while it's being stored to that memory card, because the camera doesn't have any memory beyond that. I have a Nikon D. What was it? What's the number on you? Damn thing doesn't talk. D7000. It's a low light model. Anyway, so right, there it is again. I love it. I'm all about the glitches. Because if a game works, boring. So, okay, whether the sun is adjusting, whether this is the server moving too slow, have they slowed down the server so that we have less of the speed problems? Like, maybe Will, you're wearing armor and using higher stamina stuff. When you use full stamina and you're running for longer than usual, you got high-end food and high-end gear maybe, tier 2, tier 3, you will notice that you run so long at high speeds that boars start falling out of trees again. We're only on the edge of good behavior here in Pax Dei. And I keep saying it. The more people that join these buildings with thousands of objects, well, not isolates. Isolates is actually very efficient. Very efficient. I was looking around that place. Very efficient. I like how the different squares light up between the... It looks like a big shaver for your face, but like a clipper, which I need to use. But it's you have different window sections, so it looks like an office building with the windows lit up. Anyway, plot limits is something. Man, there's all this flashing. Yeah, people are starting to notice. I'm not sensitive to it. In fact, I'd be completely lying to even suggest sensitivity. But I'm glad I'm not. But because people say they are, and I'm not going to say, oh, you're full of it, you're just being a pansy. Well, I've had a lot of things in life that I personally felt about, and it seemed like everybody else was not having the same problem as me. I got to get rid of that triple on the end there. That's terrible. But and I felt like, well, shoot. I mean, I'm a 6'3" guy who was 265 pounds in the U.S. Army. All right. And I've had girlfriends, even beautiful gals, who just looked at me going, where I even try to say, well, I don't like that, and they're like, what? It's an incredible thing. You must be joking. Yeah, like when I call you, like when I say your dress makes you look fat, because you are. It's not the dress, it's you. The dress, you're gonna rip it. You're the one making it look terrible. Oh dear. Turn out the lights. Let's do it again. Anyway. Mr. Noodle, his fine place. I like how a lot of people have a lit interior instead of a lit exterior. You can see a lot more. Just seeing a big blind of light everywhere, it's nice when you get that interior from inside. Like having torches on slit windows. No, I'm not going to criticize. It's not Sunset Magazine. We have the Home Depots up there. I went up to where my old place was. I'm glad I moved. These people are going to fill the skyline. Hey, that's the way it is. Second Life was that way. I have seizures, so it's annoying. I'll tell you, I've had seizures, like Grand Mall. We're talking go to the ground, all that stuff. I get them with heavy exertion and rising too fast. I mean, bad stuff. Holding on to a wall while you're just right in the... Oh, my God. I never reported it to anybody because I don't want to lose my license. They're very, very rare. I have a buddy who had them within 6 months, and he kept on losing his driver's license, which he actually came to in parking lots. He had a Honda Prelude. Not the safest car to have a seizure in. But I don't know. The military saw them and noticed them, and they watched them pretty close. I was a non-combat MOS, so that wasn't even a thing. Anyway, yeah, if you're getting hit by those lights, it's been a very, very big consideration with the strobing in games. Heck, it was a consideration with the Pokemon cartoon, if you remember that, Billy. I think everybody does. No, I did not. Actually, I did watch that episode because all three of my children have watched through the Pokemon series. I don't like Pokemon. It's all about demons. It's all about demons. I saw the YouTube video. That guy did a great video. No, yeah, that flashing sunlight, if they've slowed down the server so that the server light adjustment is... Live server stuff is a pain. Every time we log in, it has to figure out what time of day it is. So we get the Lucy in the skies with diamonds. We get that marmalade skies draining down, and then it flips out to full light on us. It used to be a full bloom. If you play Crimson Desert, you're going to get the same effect walking out of buildings because they don't have any baked-in lighting, and that's something we don't have. Adjusting to the time of the day and getting this bloom, it wasn't happening at first, but things would still develop. Something has gone different. I think mainframe's running into a lot of issues. Pax Dei is impossible. It's absolutely impossible. The only thing that makes it possible is that the gaming market, the innovations planned, although 5.7 is available. You still got to convert over to it. And I know I give mainframe crap from not keeping up momentum on that, because that's where they proposed the game. They proposed it at 5.7, and I barely read about 5.8, and that didn't exist, so they didn't propose it for that. But 5.6 is only 5.5 converged, and the most boring conversation in the world. But 5.5 was just getting that, being able to edit in world. It was a kind of Fortnite thing, and I believe it was built. Pax Dei was built on 5.3, I think. I don't know, and those things are free. You get them, and if you're not a programmer already, which all these guys are. But what did they do before? Well, there was no Pax Dei. EVE Online, Rainier, maybe Thor, Gunnarsson. I think they did EVE Online. But that's not a PvP MMO. That's a spreadsheet game. And EVE Online Dangerous, I don't think is extremely popular, but it's very new. And it wouldn't have been them. In fact, I think most of the people at Mainframe found themselves in a declining market for their older skills, which the whole industry is built on. The whole industry is built on their skills. The problem is, this new generation of gamers can't even remember the past, and what they do remember, they think is just old junk, and they really expect a higher standard. The problem is, the only place this higher standard has existed is in cutscenes. Cutscenes were always the max. Now, I can show it. And maybe I'll do it next time. Mainframe did it to themselves. They showed the woman with the horse. She had a hold on the bridle. This is a game engine scene. Yeah, they made a little film, but they were calling it gameplay. They were calling it possibilities. They show saddlebags on the horses. They show her leading the horse, saddlebags on the horses. Now Peter in Discord is saying, yeah, you'll ride a horse, but we'll just give you 2 more inventory bars, and if you're encumbered loading them, and then you have to get to the horse and get on it and off the horse. Or you can gather things while on the horse. You're just running around picking flowers while on a horse. So, they're really running into a reality check here. Myth of Empires, Billy, if you ever seen that thing, it's a glitch mob massacre. That is what Myth of Empires is. But it has everything, but it's glitch. And you get to see what happens when you have a team of a few thousand people in China who built this thing. I mean, really, they have like a few thousand people. I mean, it was like, they have like 1,600 servers. It is nuts how many people play this game. Gangs play this game to grind up gold and money. So, anyway, I got animals waiting for me. They're all getting so impatient. It's that time. Well, I'm the one who held off. Anyway, Billy, I'll catch you later. I'll catch everybody else later. But Pax Dei's impossible. Until networking's better. They can't win. And neither can we. Until everything's just so bloody fast. All this is easy. Like, seizures. I mean, really, you don't get a choice with a seizure. It's not like, oh man, now I gotta have one. No, they happen. And they're very scary, very dangerous, and everything else. So, it's a big deal. It's a very big deal when it comes down to, well, I just want to play Pax Dei again, but there's a danger. So, having the annoyance, but I've had seizures. Over my whole life. Over my whole life. All right, Twist. There you go, dearie. Take it easy, Billy. Everybody, see you tomorrow night. 7 p.m. every night. If I ever change it, it'll be for a different reason. It'll be a different kind of episode at the other time. But I would like to be the best times for everybody. So if it gets up later and all that stuff, see ya. And I'll probably be in Selene tomorrow. Not that I'm just going to be grinding. That's it. Grinding and yapping. And I think I already know the subject matter. Why roleplay will never work. Anyway, got some commentary on some chat. But I'm glad I got into Lioness stuff, just for the record. Whatever. If anybody ever watches this, they'll be like, back then he said it. Good. And he was completely wrong. That's fine too. Take it easy. Twist, let's get out of here. Later, Billy. Take care. I pray for you. I pray your mom's doing well. But I won't dwell on that. I pray my mom's doing well. Alright. Come on, Twist. Oops. Open the inventory so we can free the mouse. See? Anyway. You cats. Alright. End broadcast. Good night, y'all. Oh, Billy, specifically. I don't know who else is there. Make yourself known if you ever are. But I think it's just Billy. Take it easy. See you later, Athena. And, Flo, if I catch you, please, say hi. And, Osgood, if you're still playing Pax Dei, I'm still looking for a Steam key.